What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Unlocked Minds. I'm A.Patrice. This channel is for anybody that has just woken up to the rabbit hole of this trip called life and is looking for a guide to kind of help them with things that they are experiencing now or are aware of what they're experiencing now. So today's topic is all about blessing the contrast in your life. Now, what the hell does that mean? Well, the contrast I'm going to be talking about today is going to be on the spectrum of a less desirable state. You're feeling stressed out, angry, anxious, depressed, sad. All those things kind of vibe on the same spectrum. Now, first off, everybody is always experiencing, highs, lows, somewheres in between. But not everybody actually understands what these waves are. Now, the positive side of having contrast introduced into your life is the fact that it's actually a major indicator of something that you need to change on the inside. Because after all, out of any situation you may find yourself in, you are the only element that you can control in that experience. So usually this contrast that you're going to experience will probably pop up a few times, It'll first pop up, you'll deal with it however you naturally respond to things when you're being triggered emotionally, because triggers come from unresolved emotional situations you've been in from your past. So you let the first one slide, you let the next one slide, and then you'll start to pick up that this situation keeps making you feel the same way. So at that moment, whether it's the second or third or fourth or 10th billionth time you've been faced with this contrast, you need to get real with yourself. Ask yourself, what am I learning? Because when you realize life's a trip, it's actually a never-ending lesson. But then that just means that you're actually evolving as a soul and you're getting better at this conundrum that we find ourselves in. So once you realize that there is a lesson in this situation, kudos to you, because you are on your way to blessing the contrast and continuing the path. So once you've questioned yourself of what I'm learning here, you actually come into a state of acceptance that you are the only one making yourself feel this way. It's just a hard dose of truth. Now, when you get to this state of acceptance, your wheels should start turning a little bit more. And you should start to realize this less desirable state automatically made you imagine a more desirable state that you would prefer to be in. We'll call this your preferred reality. Now, this preferred reality was only given life because of the contrast that you just experienced. We bring in blessing the contrast. This will shift your perception into a state that will allow you to receive inspired action that's going to lead you to the breadcrumbs of your preferred state of reality. You can't have one without the other. Or on the other hand, you might not bless the contrast and think that everything's happening to you and everything outside of you is the problem, and then you'll just continue in the never-ending cycle of that contrast. Blessing the contrast has always worked out in my favor. I assure you that if you start doing this, you will recognize it's always working out for you too. Anywho, that is my take on blessing the contrast and why it is absolutely necessary to start practicing in your life, because once you're aware, you can't go back to being unaware, and things will just keep getting worse and worse. It should just basically gets more intense once you realize what's going on here. Pow! If you have any questions or would like me to elaborate further on this topic, just let me know. And yeah, I'll see you at the next video.